Hello everyone, my name is Josh Miller and I am your student's IB Math teacher this year. I teach both the IB Math standard level and higher level, so I'm going to kind of go through everything in this one video because it's all very similar between the SL and HL course, just the material is different that we cover. I do want to apologize in advance. I've had some allergies acting up the last day or two, so if you hear some sniffles on the video, I do apologize. A little bit about me. I am born and raised in Indiana. I went to Indiana University Bloomington for my undergraduate degree, and then I completed my master's degree through IUPUI when it was still IUPUI and not IUI. And my master's degree was in math. I've been teaching here at Carmel High School for 7 years. This is my 7th year here. And I've been teaching IB Math. This will be my 3rd year teaching IB Math here at Carmel High School. A little bit about the course. It's a little bit of a non-traditional setup for the course. A lot of it, the students are working together, working with their textbook, working as a group to kind of build their own knowledge and understanding through what we call our investigations. Some of those questions in the investigations are, just thought-provoking questions. There isn't always a right answer to them. It just wants to get the kids thinking about math. And then there's some book examples and things that they go through and they do on, in their groups attempt. So it's a lot less lecture-based. I will lecture on some of the newer concepts that students haven't seen before in past math classes. But when it comes to most of the day-to-day, we do these investigations. The topics that we cover in IB Math are expected by the IB, the International Baccalaureate. So they are, topic 1 is numbers, and that's a lot of like the different number types, and it's percent error and rounding and things like that. Topic 2 is functions, which is a lot of what they see in Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. And then topic 3 is geometry, which, as you can expect, is a lot of the material that they cover in geometry courses that they've already taken. Topic 4 is probably the bulk of the brand new material for them, and that's our statistics topic. And then topic 5 is also likely brand new for a lot of them, and that is their calculus topic. SL does not do quite so much calculus. HL does a lot more of it, which is why some of your students might have taken a full year of calculus before they take the higher level course. But the day-to-day is typically those investigations. The way you can expect their grade to break down is it's 60% test and quiz, 20% are the homework practice sets that I send them home with that are due roughly every week or so. And then 20% is actually mandated by the IB, and that is for their project. And that project is their internal assessment, or their IA. Their IA for this course is a paper. We do a miniature version of it first semester to kind of get them, to help get them an idea of what their big paper will really look like. And then that big IA is due second semester. We start off, by the end of the semester, they'll have picked their topic that they want to discuss in their paper. At the start of the semester, I'll give them time to, do some writing in class, give them in-class time to ask questions and things like that. The rough draft will probably be due right around the end of January, and then the full paper will be due likely at the end of February, depending on how fast I can get back their feedback to them. But that IA is expected of the IB course. So if they are wanting to take the IB exam, if they're working towards the diploma, they do have to complete the IA as well. Even if they're not working towards the diploma, it is part of the course that they still have to complete. For me, for 20% of their grade, first and second semester. The way their tests work, quizzes we don't offer retakes on because if they score better on their exam for that unit or module or whatever, we just substitute their quiz score with whatever they scored on their test. So let's say they scored an 80% on their quiz leading up to their first exam. Then if they score 90% on their exam 1, I will substitute out their quiz score and give them the 90% for the quiz as well. When it comes to homework, right now, the first couple of homeworks, I'm going to be giving them opportunities to correct, especially because they're still getting used to how IB asks a lot of their questions and how they're expected to write their answers and, round to 3 significant figures and that sort of thing. So we're doing corrections on those. We might not do full credit corrections as the year goes on. That'll just kind of depend. We'll see. When it comes to technology, I do have the students put their phones up in a calculator caddy. However, as the year goes on, eventually we're going to get access to the online textbook. Unfortunately, we don't have it right now. So I've been posting like book pages here for the students to use at home and in class. But once we get access to that online textbook, I do expect them to bring their Chromebook or device every day so that they can use that online book in class when they're working with their peers in their investigations and completing practice problems, especially because the online book is far more up to date than the textbooks that I have in the room. And unfortunately, I only have a classroom set, so I can't send those textbooks home with the kids. Once we get that online textbook, though, it'll have a bunch of different tools that they can use, such as like calculator steps, videos, extra practice, things like that, that I'm looking forward to being able to show them and have them use in class. I also have given the students each a TI Inspire calculator. They will be expected to use the TI Inspire calculator on the IB exam in the spring, so I have them use that same calculator all throughout the year. All of the different steps we cover in class is using that TI Inspire calculator. They're more than welcome to use other calculators when they're working on homework at home. They just know that they'll have to use the TI Inspire in class. They should have a cord as well so that they can charge it at home this year and everything like that. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to email me at any time. My email, there are two Josh Millers in this building. One teaches math, the other teaches social studies. So sometimes people get confused. Josh Miller they're emailing. So that you know, my email is jmiller4, and it is also in my Canvas page as well. I typically tell parents that when I get an email, I'll respond typically by the end of the next school day. So if you email me on a Monday, then you should likely hear back from me before the end of that Tuesday, that following day. If you email me on a Friday, you'll most likely hear back from me by the end of the following Monday that week. But yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email. I do try my best to make sure students have as much as they can and feel as supported as possible, because I know it can be kind of a tricky experience. It's definitely not a traditional math class that they're used to. So we got videos and things in here to help them out, as well as they're more than welcome to come in for SSRT anytime. If your student is finding they're struggling, I would definitely encourage them to use that SSRT time. I do have 3 different math peer tutors in my room that all have done the IB program with me before, so they are used to how the investigations work. They have done the practice, they've done it all, and so they can really help support your student, and your student is also more than welcome to come in and ask me questions as well. I try and encourage the students ask as many questions as possible, as soon as possible. That way they're getting the most out of the course and preparing their best they can for their IB exam. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Otherwise, have a great day, everyone.